We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2225. Today, Jill and I are talking about, is your 2024 playbook broken? Fix your mail, market, mindset for 2025, just like Jill and I have.
I actually know individuals, since we have 10 years of Land Academy, they have 10 years with us, and they're going and they're starting to go, well, shucks, this isn't working. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Well, same thing I've done since 10 years ago. Gee, let's talk about that. I remember one guy in particular that came back to Career Path. It was like a year or two ago, and he's like, I'm here because I need to refresh some stuff, and I don't even know what to refresh. So we helped him and hooked him up.
Excellent. Each week on the show, we answer a question from our local Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Okay. Zane and Tara wrote, okay, I'm seeing some guidance here. I'm trying to determine if I want this property at any price. If you have any experience with Alabama or with any of these facets of real estate, please let me know. So it's 15 acres in blank county, redacted county, Alabama. The property is currently being farmed with a handshake deal dating back to about 30 years ago. Farmer doesn't want to buy the land, and he's paying $500 a year to farm it. Well, no kidding at that price. Okay. There used to be a house, had a kitchen fire, and then they never repaired it.
I love this
They
deal
let
so
it
far.
fall down.
I love this.
Then dozed the entire structure with everything in it into an underground concrete pool in 2023 and put fill dirt over the top. This is hilarious. There are 2 old septic systems that have not been serviced in years, and without testing, have no idea if they function.
Well, they don't.
Also, don't know if the dozer went over the drain fields.
They did.
Oh yeah, the title's messy too. I'd like to buy for $15,000 max, and once all the above shenanigans are fixed, hope to sell for about $90,000. Ooh, but is a potential environmental disaster of dozing over septic fields and burying an old house even fixable? Oh my goodness, hilarious. Redacted.
First of all, don't say the word environmental anymore.
Nope.
Not on this deal, not in the future, just ever. Environmental issues, the vast majority of environmental issues out there are for commercial property owners to deal with and not us. And so, this is just my opinion, is there an environmental situation? I honestly wouldn't have thought of that unless you brought it up.
True.
So, people do crazy stuff all the time on farmland, especially agricultural land that's out of the city, and nobody cares for at all.
Right.
In fact, as far as you know, just lose your memory of what just happened there. So that's my opinion on the environmental scenario. This, in the most positive way in the world, just reeks of DIY. There's a massive DIY purchasing group in our market segment, buying and selling land, that nobody talks about, largely because we can do math really well. We understand spreadsheets, we understand computers, and that DIY group that's not their skill set. Their skill set is smelling out amazing real estate deals, dealing with what's there. Hopefully they can salvage it. You can probably salvage all of this stuff, and then putting a mobile on it and either moving in, or they move in, their mother-in-law moves in, or they resell it. So that's what this reeks of. Now, you need to get enough information to make so that you're sleeping at night, feeling good, sleeping at night decision on the acquisition price. If you think when it's all done, just the land, and you can safely say, at one time, there was a couple of septic fields here, and there was a well here, but we don't know what the current condition is, and you can sell it for 90, 70, 60, 50, some number that's really conservative, then you should decide how much you can buy it for. Think about this, though, and this is my final point on this. Joel, I'm sure, has a bunch to say. Think of all the differences that this property has between just a piece of raw land that's always been raw. It's being farmed. It had a house on it. The house had utilities when it was there. We haven't talked about electric, but electric got there somehow. Those are huge things for a small town person to say, I'm going to buy this for $50,000. Everything else out here, and this size is $200,000. I'll figure it out. That was a speech from him to his wife, by the way.
Ditto.
Really? That's it?
I really don't have anything to add. I'm just looking at it like I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the property itself. It's being used and farmed, and it has been for a while from somebody. And that's the potential. He's not going to buy it, but somebody else is probably going to do the same thing with it. I don't know how big it is the only thing. Oh, 15 acres, excuse me. Oh my goodness. 15 acres gives me plenty of room to do whatever I want to do too, by the way. If I want to keep farming it, great. I want to farm it, put a house over here, build a ranch, who knows? I am not worried about that at all. And gosh, if you can get it for 15K, 25K even, I'm good with that based on your math.
Yeah.
Tara, because I know Tara.
Oh, okay, good.
That's it. If it's really worth 90 and you screw it up and you sell it for 70 by the time you're done with an agent and everything, if I pay 25 for it, I'm okay with that. I way doubled my money and everybody got paid out. So it's fine. And she's got a messy title. So, and she can undo this stuff. I know, Tara. Good job.
Don't be afraid of of broken down stuff on your land. It makes it more valuable, not less, in 99% of the cases.
You know what's funny about this? Sometimes you're going, I wish I didn't ask all these questions. There's things I want to know about the property and things I don't want to know about the property. Oh.
Our minds have been poisoned with HGTV.
Really?
Yeah, let's renovate this. Let's make it look pretty and we can maximize value. That's not the business we're in.
True.
Let's make the price absolutely amazing and give them something to work with.
Right.
That's our model.
Perfect.
Today's topic is your 2024 Playbook broken. Fix your mail, market, and mindset for 2025. Here's some really material changes that we've made with huge success this year and last year, because we kind of saw this coming, and we were as loud as I thought appropriate about the changes that were happening and are happening, but our members in our listening community and now our staff are saying, you guys aren't loud enough or direct about it. That's what this week's about.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
How many times does that happen in
Could
your
you
relationship?
imagine? Oh my gosh, that's our new motto. Be louder. Really? You want me to be louder? Okay, look out. I thought we were. That's awesome.
All Jill ever tells me in our personal life is be quieter and smaller.
Softer.
Smaller?
Softer.
I like Steve Light.
Yes, and think inside voice, outside voice. That comes up a lot. We don't need to do baking soda.
Inside joke.
Yep. All right. So,
Go ahead.
what I want to say is, what still works? There are some things that are probably still working, and there's some things that are not working in your business. You need to really lean into, and in this case, maybe amplify what does still work. For me, what still works is getting on the dumb phone. I am picking up the phone more often now than I ever have. Not trusting email, not trusting texting, anything. I'm having a voice-to-voice conversation. I can pick up on things, little nuances. I can pick up on people's pausing and maybe any possible issues they might have with the tone of their voice, and I'm addressing them right then and there. So for me personally, that's something that still works. What are things that hasn't been working? Well, like Jack even mentioned, I don't know if it was today or earlier I think it was yesterday's show, about how few mailers were needed to get a deal. Now it might take more. You might have to surgically strike a little bit differently. There's stuff that he's doing that we don't even talk about, but I know goes on when he's picking counties and pricing units, and getting people to call and act on them. That's his job. He watches the volume that I get to deal with and my team gets to deal with, and he adjusts accordingly. So that's things that you need to be thinking about.
So here's the thing, the three topics that I agree with 100%. Here's the three things that this episode's really about. What do we change in our markets, our mailers, and our mindset? And I'll tell you exactly what we've done with success. There have always been 4 or 5 or 8 markets that Jill and I love. Mm-hmm. We continue to make money there, largely because we have a ton of inside information. This is markets now. And so we continue to make money there, but I'll tell you what's different, and it's very different. I bought quite some time ago my first mobile home there. This is a churning and burning land market for us, and it still is. It's calmed down a lot. The resale market's much, much more difficult. And so consequently, we have a bunch of properties still sitting there at the original prices that we've asked. And we're in no real hurry because I know the market comes back. I know these markets really well. But we started buying mobile homes and now houses in those markets because we know them so well. We know how long it's going to, we know the real estate agents, and we know the people at the county, and we know how long it's going to take it. So we've expanded our market, our land market, into new product types. I urge you to do that. And if you're new, even better, because you should start off doing that. Go to houseacademy.com for information there. Number 2, mailers. I said this yesterday. When I started out, I could send out 25 mailers and do a couple of deals. Mm-hmm. So of course, I started sending out 500 to 1,000 unit mailers and getting a lot of deals. And I wasn't pricing them. I was pricing them at, I'll give you $500 for your land. And they screamed back and said, please, I'm tired of paying the taxes. That low-hanging fruit has been picked. Is it negative? No. We make way more money now. And every time we have to make a change like this, we end up making more money. So a 50 mailer became 500. A 500 mailer now, well, for several years, decades, was 5,000 unit mailer. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work anymore. You have to send out more mail. Mm-hmm. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah. And it's okay if you're new and you're like, I don't have the budget for this. You will. That's your goal. Just scale up to that. When you start doing deals, put that money right back in the mail. Put into all those efforts, and it will pay off.
The way to offset that is, and we'll talk about that in the next few days on the show here, is adding zeros.
Yep.
To buy a property for $1,000 and sell it for $5,000, and I built the company on that model. We don't even mess with that anymore. Mm-mm. In fact, for houses, we don't buy it unless we make $100,000 on it. And so it's real easy to send out 25,000 mailers now for us and buy 1 or 2 houses where we make $100,000. The numbers are beautiful. It's a beautiful return on investment. So that's markets we addressed, mailers we addressed, and mindset. Jill kind of covered mindset first. Mm-hmm. It used to be someone would receive an offer, and back in my day, sign it and send it back. We literally had no telephone number associated with our companies at all. We did, but we didn't put it on anything. We didn't put it on the mailer or anything.
It wasn't a call me and we'll talk about it. Nothing like that.
There was nothing to talk about. I mean, made good on it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for $500, I don't care if this is the worst piece of property in the world, I'm buying it.
Right.
And reselling it. Mm-hmm. That was a mindset then. My mindset then changed to, let's expand into larger properties, and here's a customer service type number. We're not going to negotiate the price or talk about the deal, but we found out that our mailer yield was much better if somebody could call and talk to somebody and say, is this real?
Right.
Look, what's the process?
Exactly.
The price was never discussed, or they never knew about the land anyway. It was all inherited, and they just didn't care. That was the mindset, and up until Jill and I joined forces. And then Jill said, maybe you guys, you dingbats, should
put a phone number
publish
on
a
there.
phone number and see what happens.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'll answer the phone because
Yep.
I'm sure you don't know how to do it. And
Yep.
all true. So we changed the mindset to Jill's answering the phone and just making friends with people and walking them through the transaction. And I think we probably, very real numbers, probably quadrupled how much money we were making within the first 60 days. And that hasn't stopped growing since. All because of Jill just came from a different industry and looked at the whole thing with a real fresh set of eyes and said, you need to be refreshed. Now, Jill just described it. Totally different mindset. You have to engage these people. You know what I want you to do, all of you? I want you to go to your favorite AI input scenario search engine, not Google, but anything else. And I want you to say, type in this. How will AI affect the real estate industry? I've done this on Grok. I've done it on ChatGPT. I've done it on Google or Copilot for Microsoft. And they all say some version of this, but don't trust me. I want you to do it yourself. The real estate industry will not be affected by AI in any substantial way in the near future. And here's why. It's relationship based. Mm-hmm. Selling a piece of real estate is too complicated for the vast majority of people, and they need somebody to talk to about it.
True.
They need their hand held. They need to know how things are going to move through the system, when they're going to get their money. And that's Jill's was born to do that. And so if you're thinking about getting into this business, or you're into it now and you're not doing this, you're missing this part of it because you're real technical, you're great with Excel, you know how to do mailers, you're good at pricing, all of that, like me, you need to learn to be Jill, or you need to find a Jill.
Thank you.
I'm very fortunate. This happened a long time ago. Very crazy. It was like falling backwards into luck.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Join us tomorrow. Jill and I are going to talk about from stale to scalable, 2025's new rules for mailers and market moves. You're not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.